I'll continue here. Hi. Again, I'll continue this, making this my main focus because I feel this video is going to be pulled off. Because Obama said there must be no future for those that sign the Prophet of Islam. So this one will get most of my attention here. Yeah. Okay. And when I do the Fu Manchu accent, I'll be this side of my face when I'm doing the Muslims. Yeah. Okay. Wake up, man. The world has moved on since your ISIS, Qaeda, Boko Haram, and all the so-called terrorist groups have been exposed. Ha ha ha. No, I think they are starting to wake up as well. More and more, I'm starting to see people like me showing from the Quran why ISIS is. Whether or not anything will come out from it, will come from it, I doubt it. For we have a Muslim Brotherhood member as president in the White House. If there were Muslims, why are they attacking Israel? Why are they not attacking Israel? Why are they killing mainly Muslims and sometimes Christians? Maybe because they fear Israel might turn Mecca into glass with them in it during the Hajj. Maybe because ISIS isn't as strong as they boast, being that most Muslims are actually Muslim in name only, and only act like they believe in Islam, so who actually believe such evil idiocy won't kill them if they should slip up and say, I have a hard time believing we as embryos go through a 40-day blood clot stage like Muhammad said. Are you sure Muhammad was right about the earth being spread out on the back of a giant agitated fish, and that is why we have mountains to keep down earthquakes? Are you sure the sun was the sun? You're sure, Karen? Oh, are you sure the sun? Oh, I need to. And are you sure? Are you sure the sun? In Quran 36, 40 through 42 isn't inferring. Isn't inferring that the sun and moon are traveling in bulks similar to the offspring Noah, when at the same time Al-Tabari Hadith, Muhammad says the sun and moon aren't traveling in an ark but are traveling in the chariot in the sea of water held over our heads by the power of Allah. That stuff is true. Then, are you sure he would say that? A Muslim would say that? Yeah. Where is your sense, your common sense, or this cow sense? Do you think a cow would believe the sun and moon travel in Noah's Ark or chariot? Would a cow believe embryos go through a blood clot stage? You do know what a blood clot is, don't you? A blood clot is dead, worthless blood. Also, would a cow be stupid enough to believe, in this day and age, that the sun needs to ask or seek permission to rise when it sets? Think, oh save the best deceivers. Think. The problem with people like you is that you talk too much like empty vessel. You mean ask questions. Judging by the hatred way you demonstrate with no wisdom at all. My hatred is for Islam, not Muslims. It's a hatred for a book, Quran, that forces Muslims to kill those who refuse to pay a high tax and to rape women who are their slaves captured, right hand possessed. That'd be Quran 9, 1 through 5, without the pain, Jizya tax 29, 30, 39. Also, the first part of Quran 424, which is still the slavery part. For what I mentioned, also Islam allows. Anyone with common sense could see that first, none of these terrorist organizations have any link whatsoever to the teachings of Islam. Quran 9, 1 through 5, 29, 30, 39, and 111. Also, the first part of Quran 424. Anyone can read those scriptures. Can they? Can't they? They can all read them, can't they? But I'm sure you know best. Here I do. Here I do. 1. Why then 80% of their victims are Muslims themselves? If that is true, it's possible because Muslims, they believe, quote, kill and be killed in the cause of Allah isn't kill and be killed in the cause of Allah, spreading Islam with the sword, but is really, my jihad is to lose weight. They probably kill, quote, Muslims for staying at home and believing Islam is peaceful, and thus are seen as not Muslim, but as hypocrites. That is why they kill Muslims, because they feel the Muslims they're killing are actually just Muslim meaning only. 2. Why is then Israel that is supposed to be their enemy is never attacked? Because Allah is a lousy aim, or Adonai is a better protector of his chosen? Because they feel Israel might nuke Mecca, and they really don't know if that would destroy their faith or not. So the fear of the unknown keeps them from shooting rockets into Israel. By the way, I heard last week that ISIS in the Sinai was shooting rockets into Israel, but I bet you don't believe that. True? I bet he doesn't believe that. Alright, I'll continue here. 3. Why is their later name is Shimon Elliott? Exposed, admitted by the BBC that he is a Mossad agent. Al-Baghdadi. His name is Shimon Elliott. Al-Baghdadi, bad daddy. If so, then again, you have to let Muslims know this, since so many of them are joining ISIS believing they are fulfilling Quran 9, 1 through 5, 29, 38, 39, and 111. Also the first part of Quran 424. You have to let them know this. Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, you name it. They are all mercenaries hired by the CIA and the Mossad. If so, then again, you need to let Muslims know this, as so many of them seem to be fulfilling Quran 9, 1 through 5, 29, 38, 39, and 111. Also the first part of Quran 424. You have to let them know this. For face it, they are making Islam look evil for joining these Jews then, aren't they? Why was Charlie Hebdo exposed at big time that it was a false flag? Don't tell me. It wasn't Muslims obeying Quran 9, 1 through 5, 29, 38, 39, 111. It was Jews again, making Islam look evil. They're the ones that killed those cartoonists, right? But of course, you must know what But of course, you must know what that you dubbed as called idiots. Don't. People who believe the earth is round and rotating. People who believe embryos are never blood clots for 40 days, not even for 40 seconds. People who believe the Quran doesn't confirm the Bible. People who don't wash their nose out 3 times in the morning to get a sleeping Satan out of it that was sleeping in the upper interior of it in the nighttime. People who don't have their patooties in the air 5 times a day on a prayer rug. People who might think it's stupid to believe the earth is spread out on the back of a giant fish called Nun. It's those people, true? Have a nice day. Well, I am. Oh, now Muslim, then a Muslim says to the Muslim that just talked to me, he says, and he said this, he says this. Wrong, every Islamic terrorist group has a common... Yeah. Oh, you know something? I respond to him. I'll read what he said. This is what the other Muslim said. He said to the Muslim that just talked, he said to him, wrong, every Islamic terrorist group has a common denominator, the Quran, the Hadith, the Prophet of the Islam, and his God. And who's the fool now? You people are fools for letting the Jews and the Americans give Islam a bad name all over the world. They're fighting, killing each other, and doing the dirty work for CIA and Mossad. Is this how stupid and gullible the mighty men of Islam is? Daesh is the name given to ISIS by Muslims in the Middle East. And why? Because ISIS stands for insane suicide Islamic service. Now, ask yourself why we hold you in contempt. You are letting your arch enemies use you to kill each other. Just how dumb you can be. And I say to him, he just said, I said,
The Muslims who killed the soldiers last week. The Muslim who killed the soldiers last week is reported as saying ISIS is stupid and not Islamic. His family is reported as being shocked by what he did. If this is true, and they are taqiyya, lying for Allah, then the shooter was a master of taqiyya, lying for Allah. He was a master of taqiyya himself, like the Boston bomber was. Because Joker Sarnaya said you have to be an idiot to believe that Islam creates terror, and then a few months later he sets off a pressure cooker bomb at the Boston Marathon, and blames it on because America, killing Muslims. Yeah, right. No, it's because of Quran 9:11, 38-39. That's why the Joker Sarnaya did it. Really, and he said, "Oh, Islam doesn't. You have to be an idiot to believe Islam creates terror." Okay. Anyway, I'll continue here. All right. Then Offman jumps in again. Oh, I might have enough. I don't think I have enough time for this. Do I? I have one more minute. Yeah. Okay. The Muslim. Yeah. Okay. That quote, so many man-made books or Bibles, unquote, which so many Christians have claimed to have read and followed earnestly, was written hundreds of years after the time of Prophet Yeshua. False. I was a theology major at a liberal university, and that is a lie. There was supposedly a thing called the Q source, which was believed to be a collection of sayings of Jesus that became the Gospel of Mark in the 1st century. And before that, there were the Dead Sea Scrolls that show no change in meaning with what we currently have in the Holy Bible's Old Testament, the Holy Bible's Old Testament of Christians. Not only that, but Paul had one of the followers of Jesus killed, making the Gospel, New Testament, of the 1st century as well. If this book was written so long after Yeshua's ascension to heaven, isn't there the possibility that the real meaning of the teaching of Yeshua was lost? If so, then the Quran is false. The Quran says in Quran 3:55, Pickle version, and remember, it says this, and when Allah said, "O Jesus, lo, I am gathering thee, causing thee to ascend unto me, and cleansing thee of those who disbelieve, and I'm setting those who follow thee above those who disbelieve, until the day of resurrection." You get that? Until the day of resurrection. And the Muslim, Jesus, and his followers are nowhere to be seen, just the Christian ones, the ones of the New Testament in jail. I've got to stop it here. Bye. Yeah, got to stop it here.